welcome back to the podcast. Today I'm here with my best friend Elaine.
Hello.
And her husband Dylan.
Hi there.
And today we're going to be talking about their kind of life together. They're newlyweds. So we're going to talk about their backstory, how they met, and all that sort of stuff. So my first question for you guys is to just tell us the backstory and how you guys met.
Do you want to go ahead, or do you want me to?
You.
Okay, so, well, we met in Alaska. Our two stories are a little bit different, just how we started out, meeting each other, I guess. I lived in Florida, and I really wanted to get out of Florida. So I found a job in Alaska, and that's where I met Elaine. I mean, long story short, that's where we met, and yeah.
Elaine, why did you go to Alaska?
Because I had friends that went.
Oh. So you guys went there because this part always confuses me actually too. So you guys went there for a job.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And how'd you guys find out about this?
I found out because I went to the academy.
Okay.
And my boss interviewed everybody there.
Okay.
Yeah, and I found out because this guy I was working with, real shady dude, he told me about it. He's like, hey, if you go up there, I'll meet you up there. And I was like, okay, well, whatever. So I applied for the job, got the plane ticket, went up there, and he was nowhere to be found, so.
Oh, he never went
showed
there?
up.
That's really... So you went up there not knowing anybody?
Yeah, I didn't know anyone at all.
You're like,
I was
my friend. Have you talked to him since?
No, he actually moved to Eugene.
Oh.
So he was from Florida, and then he moved to Eugene for some reason.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be cool to have you guys reconnect.
No.
Why didn't you show up? Confront him?
No, I don't know.
Everything happens for a reason.
Exactly.
Yeah. So when you guys were in Alaska, what's the story? You guys go there, you do your job. Did you meet... Is Elaine the first person you met?
So we both worked in, different departments.
Okay.
And,
at the hotel that we worked at.
Okay, that's where I get confused on too, because I didn't never understood what you guys did.
yeah, so it was this big hotel that was in the middle of Alaska.
That was part of a big cruise company.
Okay.
And they would start in Anchorage and then take these tour buses up through the middle of Alaska and then fly out to Fairbanks, or vice versa.
Fly into Fairbanks, bus down to Anchorage.
And so we were kind of in the middle stop in Denali. Mm-hmm. So I worked on the luggage team, taking all the luggage off the trains and the box trucks would bring it in, and we just unload it and deliver it to the rooms. And you were
a housekeeper.
Fun.
Fun.
And so how old were you guys when you first went there?
18. You were 20.
19.
No, you were 20.
Oh, 20. That's dementia really hidden.
And how long have you guys been together now?
3.5 years.
Yeah, coming up on 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how long until you guys got together when you first met?
A month. Not even.
Not even. Yeah, it was
not even. We got there May 5th, met May 6th, and then we started dating on May 28th.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So was it an instant connection?
No.
No, not really. At least on my side of things.
Yeah, no.
I mean...
Oh.
Okay, so...
Okay, well... the vibe in here.
Yeah, okay, so the thing about that was, I was dating someone that had lived in Florida, and, long story short, that didn't really work out, and, yeah, so it was when I was talking to Elaine, I was still in that relationship.
Okay.
And it was... Looking back, if I would have been a part of that, I wouldn't have wanted to be with me. But here we are today.
I didn't know that was such a touchy subject.
I mean, is it? Oh.
No.
Elaine just has death eyes.
You did leave out the part that you also had been talking to one of our friends same time.
I was
Iconic.
That you're talking to me, who lived right across the hall from me.
Were you single at the time? Or were you still with your ex?
I was still with my ex, who was
But sleeping in our rooms.
Yeah.
I actually remember from my side, you first telling me, oh my god, I met this boy, blah, blah, blah. And then being like, I think he's still talking, or he's still with his ex, or something was going on with his ex. I remember hearing about that part. And me being like, drop him, like he's trash, like you don't need that. Kind of like you do with my exes. And then you're like, okay, so we're dating now. I'm saying, wait, what happened? I thought he was trash. I thought we hated him. But
Well, because you broke up with them by text message. And then that same day, we went back to the housing, and the other girl that you were talking to gave you an ultimatum. It was either me or her, and you texted her, and you're like, I'm gonna choose Elaine.
Aw. Okay, well, that's romantic.
Besides all the tech.
Yeah.
Besides all the, like, the shittiness of it. Yeah.
But in the end, you came to your senses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then everything was smooth sailing after that.
I mean, we broke up for a month.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Because we after that, then we dated for a month, and then I moved out of that room because that roommate and I were no longer getting along, and I moved in with one of my other friends, and then we waited for a room together, and then as soon as we moved in, like 2 weeks later, we broke up.
So 2 weeks later, after you and Dylan moved in, you broke up?
Yeah.
But you were still living in the same room?
Yep.
That's awkward.
Yeah.
But actually, you know, after we got, because we weren't together when we first came back here. And
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we weren't together.
So the first time that I met you...
We weren't together.
Yeah.
But the thing was...
I remember making comments being like, you guys are in love, yes. And you'd be like, mm-hmm. Because I didn't know that you guys were together. Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I have a video of me like showing Elaine, be like, love her life, or like, you know, best friend stuff like, we love him. And then Elaine just been like, mm-hmm. And then it is very awkward. And I was like, oh, maybe it's just new relationship awkwardness.
No, we weren't together.
No, and well, the
That's
reason...
interesting.
Yeah, okay, so we had booked a trip while we were still in Alaska to go to Florida and to come here and, like...
So the plan was after we left Alaska, we were going to come here for 10 days. Then we were supposed to go to Florida, and I was supposed to leave after 10 days. But we got back together when we got back here, like right before we went to Florida.
Okay.
And
that makes
then,
sense.
and then Hurricane Matthew came through, and I had to stay longer because it was coming through on like that Saturday, and I was supposed to fly out that Saturday.
Oh my gosh.
So then we went to Georgia, and then my mom offered for him to come back here.
Ooh. Shout out Ma Bun, we love her.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And then, so how long after you guys dated did you propose to her?
So I proposed in 2018. So...
September
I mean,
2018.
a little over 2 years.
Yeah.
But I feel like, you know, a lot of things changed. Like, when we first started dating or whatever, it was, like, I still had some things to work through, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, obviously. And, yeah, I mean, a lot can change. So, yeah.
And when he proposed to you, were you just like, yes? Or were you like, I don't know?
Well, the thing is, I proposed to him several times beforehand, and he kept
I
telling
didn't
me
know.
no.
Tell me about that because I've never heard that ever. I didn't even know you proposed to him. When?
Just like, you know, when I'm drunk in the car on the way home.
It was
know,
like,
but-
it was like,
That's iconic.
Without any rings.
We love feminine power.
it was like more like jokes.
Yeah. But Dylan was like, nope.
Well, what I
And that's
perceived
not a
as jokes,
joke.
I guess. So.
It was more like you were drunk, and so he was probably just like, she's not thinking right.
But then again, when he proposed to me, I was drunk.
Oh, how did you propose?
Okay, so I had made this reservation at this place called Departure in Portland, and it was like supposed to be really cool. It was at the top of this hotel.
It's really nice.
The view up there is amazing, so I got us like an outside table, right? And
Except for it was raining.
yeah, well, we showed up, and the guy was like, "Oh, you got that special table?" And he kind of gave me the wink.
Oh.
And like, Elaine already knew what was going on somewhat.
Yeah, that
for the
was
most
my
part.
question too. Is like, did he even know?
Yeah, and we sat down. You ordered a couple glasses of wine.
And it's like so high up that I was like, the elevation is different.
Oh my gosh!
And like they poured like decent glasses of wine.
You're like, let's chug.
Well, I forgot my wallet.
So I had to pay for dinner.
Yeah,
Nice.
then I cash apped you.
So
But the
romantic.
worst part of it was like we were sitting next to like this table of bros, like frat bros, to the right of us,
And
it
to
was-
the left.
and to the left. And so it was like we had to wait for them to go. It was just a whole clusterfuck. But she said yes. So.
Yeah.
Did like everybody in the restaurant clap and know about it, or?
No,
No.
but our waitress brought us champagne.
Oh, that's cute. Oh.
Yeah. But her face was like, she was like, congrats.
Oh, she was not having it.
Probably like, jealous.
Oh.
If I don't know, I wish I could repropose. Not that like that wasn't good, but I don't know. It wasn't like the way I really wanted to do it.
I think that's iconic.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah. It's just very you guys, like something very serious or fancy. I don't think would be you guys, you know?
Yeah.
So you guys proposed, and at this time, which I find interesting, at this time you guys were both living with Elaine's mom. And tell me about that time period. Was it any, because you guys are together, you know?
I mean, I guess we lived with her for 2 years.
Yeah.
Almost 3.
Pretty much.
Basically, how is it different living with her rather than living with just you guys?
I don't know. At least I feel like we're still kind of getting used to it.
Yeah.
Just because it was like we lived with your family for so long.
Yeah.
I mean, moving out, it's like so much quieter. Because like we're used to having like at least one person home and 2 dogs.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now we go to our own place and it's no dogs, no roommates, just the 2 of us.
You guys miss that?
I miss the dogs.
I miss having something else there,
Yeah. Oh.
just
Yeah.
like a dog or
Yeah, like an animal or something.
Yeah.
Like other background noise.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. Like we can like hang out in the same apartment and not say a lot to each other.
Yeah.
So it ends up being quiet sometimes, but it's like. Also, I feel like we don't have to say a lot to each other to enjoy. hanging out, you know.
Yeah.
So have you guys? So you were talking about your guys' growth, like your personal growth earlier, Dylan. But as a couple in the 3.5, 4. How long have you guys been together?
Almost 4 years.
4.
Yeah.
Okay, 4 years. So in the 4 years, how have you guys seen your relationship grow?
I feel like in the beginning we were definitely like, oh, we've just freshly moved out. We want to experience like hanging out with friends whenever we want to. There's a work party after work. We're gonna go down to the work party. And now I feel like we're much more responsible in that sense.
Yeah. And touching on that, I feel like at least I feel like we're less selfish.
Yeah.
You know, like when you first start out, or when we first started out, it was like I was in it for doing things for just myself, personal. I don't know how to say it, like personal. Basically, I was just doing things for myself. Whereas, like now, it's every decision is like for us. You know, I feel like we think about what the other person like has to do with each situation. You know.
Yeah. And I definitely feel like being married is different than being in a relationship because, like, you have higher stakes. Which we did talk about this earlier this week. We have like higher stakes because it's like, oh, if one of us messes up, like,
Yeah.
I mean,
It's on both of you.
yeah, it's on both of us. And, like, obviously nobody wants to get divorced.
Yeah.
But I'm like, now I have to bring like the government into the relationship. I can't just like leave. I can't just leave. I have to be like
That's such
6
an
months
Elaine
worth of
thing to say,
paperwork.
though.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
I mean, I feel like we had a lot tied in to each other's like lives, anyways, before getting married. Anyways,
Yeah.
you know, like at least on that side of things, like the car loans and like banks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
That's awesome, though. And then another one of my questions. So you were talking about how you lived with Elaine's family for like a couple years, right? While being here. So how do you adapt to that from going from your family out in Florida, coming here to I know that Elaine's family has always like been pretty close, and just is it different?
It's a lot different. Like your family's really big. Number one, like I come from a family where we have a few cousins, maybe, and an aunt and uncle, but everyone's...
You have a big family, it's just not everybody, like, is close.
Yeah, everyone's, like,
that's how
spread
my
out.
family is, too.
And coming here, it's like Americana apple pie, you know?
Yeah.
That's how your family
That's
feels.
the perfect way to... Yeah, that is so true.
Your family is so nice and, like, so kind and, you know, inviting and, you know, just loving.
So it sounds like you didn't really have to adapt to anything. It was just kind of like you felt almost like lucky. Like it sounded like a very positive experience.
Yeah, like it felt like it clicked, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like leaving your family is kind of, it's definitely hard, but it's
Yeah.
also like coming somewhere where everyone else is so kind.
Yeah. I guess that's what I meant by lucky. You were like, you didn't come into it where her family was like skeptical or anything like that. It's just very open arms, loving.
I mean, they literally, like, loved you from the first time that they met you.
Yeah.
I mean, like, when we weren't together, my dad took us out to dinner, and before he left, I remember, like, you went inside, and I was, like, sobbing outside. I was like, I just want to be back together with him. And he's like, yeah, I know, you guys are so cute together. And I'm like, I just wish we were back together.
You're like, you're not helping right now.
It's like,
You're like, I know we are cute.
it's like ugly crying.
Yeah.
And then I have to, like, okay, I'm about to know.
Like, oh, you stop peeing. Fine. God.
Go back and say, nothing happened.
And then your mom too, like your mom and I, you know, like I feel like she's my second mom. I mean,
you guys would go hiking when I'm at work.
yeah. I feel like I was kind of there for your mom too in a weird way. Like just I know she was like going through like her situations. And it was like she like since you were at work and Cameron was at school or whatever, I would be like there to like bounce things off of, you know. So
that probably grows the relationship a lot.
Yeah.
Too, at least with her family, you can get close to them, and then because I know Elaine's very family oriented, so by you being close with her family probably meant a lot for her too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it sounds like you guys have a very solid relationship. Let's talk about the arguments. So now that you guys have moved into your own small little like apartment together, and you said that it's quiet and stuff. So when you guys argue, how do you settle arguments when you're in that close of quarters? And if you have any arguments?
We don't really argue.
we just duke it up.
Yeah.
No, we don't
You're like,
really,
that's why we have the boxing gloves hanging in the kitchen.
no, we don't really argue that
No.
much.
I mean, yeah, I would agree with that.
I was gonna say every time, and I mean it's different when somebody else is there. Every time I'm over there, anytime I'm around you guys at all, you guys never really, or if you do have like an opinion, you guys are so quick to just talk really quick about it, and then kind of settle it. I've found, like I've seen,
Yeah.
and you guys are
I
very
just don't
respectful
like-
to each other.
I don't like just like dragging it out.
Yeah. And I feel like in the past, like before you and I met, it was like if I was ever in an argument, I would always like get up and walk away and save it for later, because that's kind of what I was like taught to do, I guess. But then like going into our relationship, it's become more where it's like we talk about it right then and there.
Well, it definitely has changed.
Yeah.
Like I watched Kristen Bell was on one of the talk shows.
I love her.
I know. And she talked about like Dax's and her relationship,
Yeah.
and like how their arguments grew, where it was like she would storm out of the house and like drive down the block,
Yeah.
and then finally Dax was like, okay, this can't happen anymore. And I feel like we kind of, it was like at the beginning, like definitely you and I would like storm out of the room.
We were hot-headed.
Yeah. But now we'll like sit down and actually talk about it.
Yeah. There's no like big blowouts ever.
No.
And it's probably because of that open communication, too, that you guys are having. Because before, it sounds like you guys didn't really talk about anything. It would just be like, somebody gets upset and leaves. And then it probably boils over to the next argument if you guys have one.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been there's like, at least for me, there was like a learning curve with it. I mean, like definitely having to like open up and communicate how I felt.
Because everybody's different too, and that's what kind of freaks me out about relationships, is that the person that you're getting into a relationship with hasn't been with you forever, doesn't know how you argue, doesn't know how you react to things, and so it's cool that you guys are able to learn that about each other.
Yeah.
And like stick around long enough to, go through trial and errors with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're not always, I mean, it's one of those things where you're not always going to get your way, so you got to meet the person in the middle.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Or, I'm never going to have the exact same opinion on something as you do.
And that's okay.
And vice versa. And it just has to be okay.
Dang. I want to talk about your guys' wedding day, too,
Okay.
actually, really quick.
Tea, okay.
I'm springing it on you guys. I just thought of it. So, from my perspective, I know what I think of it. But what was it like being inside of your guys' bodies and like different? Because you guys, on your wedding day, you guys didn't see each other. Well,
we saw each other for breakfast.
Yeah, I was gonna say for breakfast.
The day before, we were both just so hungover.
I was still pretty high.
Yeah.
So wait, for a second, let's touch on that. The bachelorette night.
So much fun.
So much fun, but it started out with just like girls and then guys. And then at the end of the night, everybody kind of met up in the hotel room. And when we got there,
which I know isn't traditional, but I feel like it kind of complements the two of us.
A lot of couples now though do that, because I was watching a vlog of Aaron and Carly from David's vlogs.
Yeah, and
because she's getting married soon, and she just had her bachelorette, and she said at the end of the night they all went to the bar together with her soon-to-be husband
Katie Maloney and Tom.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's becoming more normalized, just because if you want to marry somebody, you want to spend time with them, and so especially on the most important night, day of your life, possibly. Yeah. And so we met up at the hotel room. Mm-hmm. I just remember when we got there, all the girls kind of stayed pretty low key. Mm-hmm. I mean, we went to the drag show and the bar, but nobody really drank a whole lot. No. And so when we got there, we were all pretty sober. I mean, I was dead sober because I was the driver, but when we got there, and the boys were just on such a different level. We walk in and they're hanging off beds, and it's hey, I was what happened?
Well, we've been playing King's Cup with the three of us.
And every time Chase kept picking you as his partner, so every time he drank, you had to drink too.
Oh my god!
But it was so funny. By the time we got there, you had already drank 13 beers.
I just remember Dylan come up to Elaine and be like, "Babe, I'm sorry. I'm really not here." And that was one of his first words, to be like, "I love you so much," to be like, "I'm really sorry."
Well, and then you bought cigarettes, and so I went out.
That's why he said he was.
And I was like, "You need to throw those away right now. This is not happening. You need to throw those away." And you're you looked at me and you're like, "You're right."
Going back to arguments, that's been a big point of contention for us was
smoking.
Honestly, cigarettes.
Yeah.
So
because when we were in Alaska, you don't really have anything to spend money on. It's not like we have a house payment or a car payment. Mm-hmm. It's just housing that automatically gets taken out of your check, and your cell phone payment. Yeah. And I saved so much money those 2 years when we were there. And you saved nothing because you spent it all on partying and smoking.
Yep, pretty much.
Was that your party phase in life when you were in Alaska?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, you wanted to sleep at Dry Creek down the...
Which is, as it sounds, a dry creek with no water.
Yeah, it's a dry creek bed with no water. A mile away from housing.
Sounds cozy.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, back to the wedding day.
yeah, back to the wedding day.
I got distracted. So that's what I wanted to say is the bachelorette night was really fun. Everybody got together at the end and got crazy. So the whole next day, we were all hungover, but we still had stuff to do. Mm-hmm. That day was rough. It was
rough.
Getting out of bed at 5 o'clock in the afternoon felt like it was 5 a.m. It was hello? But,
oh my god.
I remember thinking she's still going to be hungover tomorrow. She's what if she's still sick the next day on her wedding?
Okay, so usually if I'm hungover until 2 p.m. 3 p.m. And we had the rehearsal dinner at
the last
6
minute we got,
and I was still hungover,
bad.
Yeah, and I was sitting there, and my dad was like, "Why don't you drink some wine?" And I was like, "No, I can't. I was like, I can't imagine myself drinking ever again.
going to that rehearsal dinner felt like I was like in the Olympics. I was just like trying to like hello. They're like, now you need to walk here. I was like, I can't spin around again. I will puke.
Or like when we went to get our nails done, I was
that was awful.
Like it was so loud, and I was like,
there were so many, and the nail salon, like it wasn't where you have your own little table. It was everybody was sitting next to each other.
No, everybody spread out. I sat by myself.
Well, I'm just saying like people in general.
Yeah.
Like I was sitting next to, but I got to sit next to TJ, so I was lucky with that. But
I was so
you were by yourself. I'm like
Maddie and Joy got to sit next to each other. Ashley and Alyssa got to sit next to each other, and you and TJ sat next to each other. And then it was just
the bride all by herself,
just me, and some random girl next to me.
Yeah,
and the girl that was doing my nails, she's like, "Oh, do you know her?" And I'm like, "No, I don't. I don't."
Like,
and then we had scheduled it for like 9 people to be there because I was told there were gonna be 9 people.
There were,
and only 6 showed up or something.
Well, the wedding
7.
party, basically.
Yeah. And the girl was like, "You told me that there was gonna be 9," and I said, "Well, we thought so." And she's like, "When are the other people gonna show up?" And I was like, "I don't know." She was
so rude though too, because she was just like, "Where's everybody?"
Yeah.
And your mom showed up late, and then she was like, "What is she doing here?"
Yeah. And my mom was like, "I don't want to get my nails done." And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, no."
Yeah. I was like, I wouldn't either.
And I'm like, I'm so hungover right now. Like, don't talk to me.
No, I remember everybody kept going outside to get like air because everyone was just like still like sweating out the alcohol.
Oh my god! But it wasn't everybody. It was just like a couple of us because.
I don't know.
Maddie was not hungover.
Oh yeah, she had just gotten there. I don't think TJ was hungover or Joy.
Yeah, TJ
they
and Joy weren't.
They went and got Taco Bell. Well, when they went and got Taco Bell, we all were like, "Let's go great," and we all just
And then it was literally just like the 2 of us.
Jose, what is it called?
Cuervo?
Yeah, that messed us up.
We still have it in our fridge.
Yes.
It's so good though.
So good though. No, in the White Claws.
I remember going in the room with you and us being like, let's just drink a couple more. And we would just sit there and like chug the bottle. I'm like, let's go back out to the fire. Nothing happened.
Like the White Claws really messed me up. Because I remember you told me there was like, oh, there was this one time my mom blacked out on White Claws.
It's so easy.
But you're like, she felt so fine like the next day.
You would have though if we wouldn't have done the
Jose Cuervo.
Yeah.
Because I just kept relying on that when we were playing King's Cup. I'm like,
as you're chugging,
I'm like, well, this keeps me hydrated.
You actually said that. You're like, this is my chaser because it keeps me hydrated. I was like, that's not how it works. She's gonna be for a rude awakening in the morning.
I like barely slept at all. But that happens every time I drink and get drunk. I barely sleep.
I passed out.
I barely sleep.
I was surprised I didn't pass out or have a hangover. I think it was honestly because...
Oh, you were hungover.
No, I was like weed. Like I was like, I'd smoked way
you
too
were
much
still
weed.
high.
I was still high.
That Uber ride home though, I was so close to... literally, I was trying to fall asleep and I was just like, I can't fall. Because I sat in the front and so I was like, this guy's going to see me fall asleep if I like fall asleep. And so I was like, acting like I was texting. I was like... just trying to hold my phone and sleep at the same time.
Stassi really came out that night.
No, I just didn't want him to see me sleeping.
Stassi and Frank were really there.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually. For real. Okay, so then... I just had like war flashbacks.
Yeah. I don't even like know how many beers I think I had. Okay, so we bought a 24 rack of PBR.
I brought more beer because you ran out of beer.
You guys brought a 12 rack PBR.
But then we also bought... or you brought White Claws, and I brought the rest of those.
Yeah.
And then the 2 bottles of tequila.
Oh my god.
And we almost finished one whole thing of tequila.
Yeah. I remember the white, like, we both finished all the White Claws. And me being like, how do we finish all that? And then, but I was so drunk, so I was like, well, I guess we'll just finish this too, but we didn't, thank God we didn't finish it all. But we really tried.
When we were playing King's Cup and they're like, okay, Chuck, you and I looked at each other and we were like barely taking any sips because I'm like, I'm going to puke if I keep drinking, I'm going to puke.
Nobody knew though. Because we were sitting there like holding our tongues to it, not drinking actually.
I had like the smallest stream.
Yeah, me too. And I was like, I just tasted it. I'm like, this is enough.
I can't. I'm tapping out right now.
I'm really going, we're like, I'm going to puke if I try to do this right now.
I felt bad for like the people. I wonder like what the people in that like area thought.
Well, okay,
I know because I know Jace.
Because we got a noise complaint. I know that.
So I talked to Jace, who was working that night, and he said that we had 3 noise complaints.
Yeah, we were
out of
because we
control.
were running in and out of the room. Because the room was right by the fireplace outside.
Yeah.
So I remember just running out and being like, hey! I'm like...
Pound a taco.
Yeah. Well, I remember
Those
Elaine coming
tacos
in.
were gone.
Oh, I remember Elaine coming in and being like, Rianna, I know you want a taco. There's only one left. And I was like, I gotta go. Because I was in talking to Joy for a little bit. And so I was like, I gotta go right now.
Yeah.
That was a wild night.
It was, honestly.
Oh my god. Yeah.
It was like,
So much fun, though.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
But, okay, back to the wedding. So, on your guys' wedding day, the hangovers are over.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God.
Dylan's not high anymore. I don't think.
Thank God.
And what was your guys'... I remember the one thing that stuck out to me is, like, not very long before we had to go and get ready, Dylan's like, I'm going on a run, bye. And Elaine just being like, I can't do this right now. And just putting her phone down and being like, let's get ready.
Okay, so, like, this was... The wedding day was so... It wasn't as stressful as planning it. Because, like, the week leading up to it, I had like an out of body experience, like screaming about my veil because I didn't want it steamed.
I just remember your mom being like, "It's gonna be okay."
Your mom was a trooper.
And honestly, because it was an out of body experience, I remember like going back to my room after that and being like, "What just happened?"
I blacked out.
But the wedding day actually wasn't that stressful, but we had one thing, and I told Dylan, I was like, don't forget, our photographer is gonna be here at 11, so be ready for her to come over. And she showed up at like 10:30, and she started taking pictures of us getting ready, and then she was gonna go over to you guys at 11. And you
told him so many times.
I told you the week leading up to it. We met with her like the month of. I texted you that morning to remind you, and then I look on Facebook and you and your dad are going on a run at what time? 11.
Yeah, because I remember you screenshot it and you sent it to me and you're like, what are you doing?
I remember I had it.
You have to be there at 11.
I just remember
I can't.
you were just getting ready to do your makeup and you were like, hang on, we were like waiting for something and you were looking at your phone and you saw the picture and you go, oh my god. I said, what, is everything okay? You go, Dylan's on a run right now, and the photographer's supposed to be there at 11.
Like,
I was like, okay.
Is he running, or is he running away?
Well, I was like, why is he doing that? And you were just like, I don't know. I really can't deal with this right now. And I was like, okay, it's gonna be fine.
Well, because like what I didn't notice is I ordered everybody these ropes, and what I didn't notice was 2 of them were the wrong sizes.
Oh, they were?
Really?
Yeah. So Maddie and TJ's were like both smalls or mediums. And I thought I got everybody, like, larges.
If that would have been me, I would have been so triggered.
But that's why most of us all were wearing leggings in the picture, because I was like...
Yeah, because I felt so awkward. I mean, it's a robe. I had my bra and underwear on, but that was, like, it's a robe. And everybody else is in their leggings, and I'm just like, I'm trying not to flash the camera. I'm like, I didn't get the memo of wearing leggings with this.
Well, I felt bad. I felt bad because Joy was like, well, I feel bad too, so she put on her leggings, and I
would have felt bad with you guys. I would have been happy to wear leggings.
Well, I rolled my leggings up.
Okay.
I was like, as far as they could go
I was just
up.
like, why is everybody wearing leggings?
Well, that, and I was like,
but the pictures came out cute, so.
Yeah.
The thing about the run, though, was like, okay, so me and all the guys had, like, gotten ready.
Oh, you guys were already...
Well, no, we weren't ready. But
You're like, so I went running in my tux.
I figured that we weren't going to take, like, very long to get ready. Like, it was just 3 of us, and, like, that was right. Like, it took us, like, 20 minutes, 30 minutes to get ready. And then...
It literally took us all day.
Yeah, it did.
And the thing about that was also that the photographer, they came, and it was, like, took a few pictures, and she was gone. But, like, I think they wanted you to have, like, the experience that you wanted, you know?
I mean, she, like, sat, talked to my grandma, talked to my mom.
Yeah.
She was awesome.
There was a lot
She was
more.
so funny.
I feel like there was probably a lot more going on at your room. That was probably more
we had
interesting.
more people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they got, like, the cute pictures with you and your mom and looking out the window.
So I knew that going into the run. I was like, yeah.
I don't know about that one, but okay.
But, I mean, it wasn't...
Everything went really good, though.
The most stressful part was, like, when we got to the venue, and then like right before we were supposed to walk, I was like, oh my god, I have to pee. And
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know about that.
And Maddie and Thomas were like, okay, well, let's go. And I'm like, no, I can't.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't have time. We're supposed to walk in 5 minutes. I don't have time.
I remember you almost like not broke down, but you had a moment there when we were sitting in that little room and you were trying to read your vows. And you're like, I don't know if I can do it.
Yeah, because I was like, I'm going to keep crying.
Be okay. I know you're like, I literally can't read it. And I remember, didn't you skip a part too when you were reading them up there?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Oh.
You guys all thought I did, but I showed you my vows and I was like, no, I really didn't.
She popped off.
But like right before we walked, my dad was like, do you need anything? And I was like, yeah, a whole bottle of tequila would be really nice.
And then you walked but you guys did like, I was standing up there. Did you guys get like dizzy when you were standing up there?
No.
Well, I think I locked my knees. So when I was standing up there, I was like, Bazo.
But so like when we were walking, because we had to walk down the dance floor.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking about how loud heels are on that. And so like I looked at the pictures and I'm not smiling when I'm walking down the aisle. I look like I'm like
focused on the heels.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're focused.
I was like literally on my tippy toes, like don't click the heels down.
Oh, why?
It was so loud. I did it once and I was like,
And so you're in that noise.
I literally look like I'm like being arrested.
Yeah, you didn't look happy.
Like looking back at the pictures, my face is like
Dylan's smiling, Elaine just like
I'm so disappointed because like literally I'm just like.
Yeah, but you got so many good pictures though too.
Yeah.
I thought walking up there though I was gonna pass out. Like I couldn't. I kind of got blurry vision for a second.
Like tunnel vision?
Yeah.
Oh.
But
I did when I was up there.
Really?
Yeah, just looking at you. Yeah.
Oh, I felt like that time went by. Like,
that's crazy.
So it was like 15 minutes, I guess, but it was like I felt like it was like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
It just went by really
like
fast.
Yeah.
Camera. I want to know. Oh yeah, I want to know what happened to you on the dance floor and in the photo booth that night because you were.
I had so
crazy.
much fun.
I know, but I've never seen you like that.
Well, okay, so like everybody tells you like, oh, you know, you need to make sure that you have fun, not that your guests have fun, that you have fun, because like,
she's like,
we're spending so much money on this. We're still paying on it, and and so I'm like, okay, well, the two big things that I wanted was good DJ and a photo booth, and so I'm gonna take advantage of that right now.
Well, yeah, because you were going around doing. Well, you were doing the photo booth for like hours.
Yeah.
And for those of you who don't know, Elaine's a pretty introverted person for the most part. I mean, she has fun and she is amazing, but she doesn't really go out and dance and like take a and like if you look bright on camera, she's like, oh my god, no pictures. But this night was crazy. You were in there for hours.
I was feeling my makeup. I was like, finally, I don't look like a goblin.
Yeah, because I remember asking Dylan, I was like, is she drunk? And he's like, no, she hasn't had barely anything to drink. I was like, this is amazing.
I kept getting like a glass of wine. I would sip it and then I'd set it down and leave. And I'm like, well,
yeah, you didn't.
Not that anybody would touch it, but I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, so maybe somebody here roofied me.
Yeah. So, and then I finally got another glass of wine and Dylan spilt it on me.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You're like divorced right now.
Like we went to go do the photo booth together, and I set it down on the prop table, and he bumped into it, and it like spilled all over.
You're like, can I get an annulment, please? Can we get one annulment over here?
The guy still here to do this thing.
Hey, Topher, come on.
You had so much fun.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun using the photo booth. And the
dance floor.
And the dance floor. More
I've never seen you dance that much.
Floor, but yeah.
Yeah, but I've never seen you dance that much.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I didn't know you had it like in you.
Yeah, that's true though, because that's true. When we go to prom and everything, you'd be like, I hate it here.
Well, okay, so prom is much different than your wedding, because like you get to choose who's gonna be there at your wedding for the most part.
Oh, that's true.
You don't get to choose who's gonna be there for the prom. It's like literally everybody is there.
I guess like for your wedding, there's no judgment because you know and love everybody.
I mean, there still is.
There is, but like I didn't really care.
Yeah.
Oh, period.
I would agree with that because it's like it's our day.
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck?
Like, if you're not having fun, like, you can leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's the door.
Yeah.
And then you guys went to New York for your honeymoon, like the next day.
Yeah.
Tell me about that. And you guys have been to New York before that.
We've
right?
been there one other time.
Yeah.
But the first time we were there for like 24 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. So how was this time different?
Um,
As a married couple.
so, I mean, it was fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
What did you guys do?
So the first time we went, we went to Empire State Building. We did the high rise, right? Is that what it's
or
called?
I forget what it's called. It's like the
High Line.
High Line.
High
Yeah.
Line. We walked that a little bit.
We did like a lot of the touristy stuff the first time.
Yeah, and so this time we're like, we don't really want to, because it was really expensive to
Yeah, I
go up
was
to
gonna
the
say it's
Empire State
expensive.
Building.
Yeah.
And
That's like the Space Needle. It's so
yeah,
expensive.
and I'm like, we've been there.
Yeah.
I don't need to go there every time.
Yeah.
So this time we went, we walked over 100 blocks.
Oh my gosh.
Like
The first day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Which was a mistake because all I brought were Converse, and like I thought I broke my foot. I was limping literally for the rest of the week.
Oh my gosh.
I'd be like, babe, are you
And-
okay? I'd be like, yeah, I'm fine.
Just popping
ankle's, like,
ibuprofen.
It's like sideways.
It was really swollen.
It was pretty swollen.
I was like, when we went back to the Airbnb, I was like Googling, like, can you break your foot by walking?
By-
Answer is yes, you
Oh.
can.
Oh.
And that's what I thought it was, because I was like, yep, that's the same,
I didn't know you were
the
Google.
same pain I am.
But it was pretty, like, you were always like, oh, like, I don't want to stop because, I mean, I don't want to ruin your time.
Well, yeah.
But
Because I also
we
wanted
could have
that fun
stopped, you know
too.
that,
She's
right?
like, well, duh.
But I also want to make the most of the week. I don't want to spend like the rest of the week just like cooped up in our Airbnb.
Yeah. The first time we went there, we stayed in Airbnb in Harlem. And
Like 2 blocks away from where we stayed this time.
yeah. But this time it was like, it was a lot more sketch.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
God.
when we booked it, I didn't really read any of the reviews except for like, cool, it's like a super house, perfect. Entire place, perfect. Because last time we didn't get an entire place.
We just got a room.
Yeah.
Oh.
So we got there, and I guess like the week before, I read more of the reviews, and I was like, well, yeah, you should be fine as long as you like aren't out like till like 12 or 1
Yeah.
a.m. So I'm like, okay, because it's in Harlem.
Yeah.
And
And
it's not like Harlem's terrible, but it's also not the safest.
Yeah.
yeah, and like the first day when we were back, or no, the first night we were there, we were walking to Patsy's, which was just around the corner, and there was like somebody following us.
Yeah.
Ooh, that would be so
Yeah.
creepy.
Yeah, and so it was like really creepy, and I'm like, okay, this is definitely a different place than when we were before. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like the next day when we were walking those 100 blocks, we passed, or when we were going through Harlem, we noticed like all the convenience stores had like a police
Oh
officer
my gosh.
outside.
Yeah.
Or
It was-
like,
Yeah, like a lot of Project 8 housing and stuff. And it was like, I
Yeah.
mean, that which is fine. It's just like, we're not used to it. We have no street smarts.
Yeah.
yeah. So if we stayed out late, we mainly took like Ubers back home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't blame you.
But the
Or if,
one
like-
time that we did, we didn't. We had we had gone to the NBC store the night before we came back, and we had all of our bags full of the souvenirs we had.
Yeah.
So we took it back at like midnight,
Oh my god.
and
Yeah, but-
we ran back to, and it was like what, like 8 blocks or something.
Yeah.
back
no, it was
to
5 blocks, I think.
whatever.
From the, yeah.
But I just remember we ran back to the Airbnb. It was so sketchy. It's like you passed 2 schools, and when we did that earlier in the week, there were like people just sitting outside the schools,
Oh, that's creepy.
just talking in the middle of the night. I'm like, go home.
One of them was like abandoned.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you guys doing here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was like that part of it was the only part that I didn't like.
Yeah.
Maybe next time we'll stay somewhere.
I really
different.
want to stay in Greenwich.
Yeah, where Friends was.
Yeah.
Of course.
But I just like the vibe there better.
Yeah, me too. That was like my favorite part of New York.
The vibes.
The vibes
But
there just.
I don't know. It was just more.
just seemed like
easygoing.
artsy and
Yeah.
I don't know. Definitely rich though.
Rich, yeah.
It's like
I mean,
But I
we
mean, it's New
ate
York,
pasta at the restaurant like right down the street from the friend's apartment. So expensive, but so good. So good.
He's like, I would do it again.
I would. I'd spend the money again.
we got really good at
so
riding the
funny.
subway.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Like we just bought like a week pass for both of us, and I mean we used Uber when we were coming home late or whatever. But other than that, we would walk or just take the subway, and we must have rode the subway like 30 times.
Oh my gosh.
Something like that.
Would you guys ever move there?
100%.
Just need more money.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of money, I want to know where and like what careers and stuff do you guys see yourself having in like 10 years?
We talk about this all the time.
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know. I also don't really care.
not just your careers, like in general. Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
I really don't know.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a hard question.
Because like I don't really want to go back to school. I don't have a want to go back to school.
Yeah.
I don't want to waste the money if I'm not gonna know what I'm gonna want to do.
But I don't think it's a bad thing to be like, this is where we're gonna be at the job that you're at now in 10 years. That's not bad.
Yeah.
It just means you
Yeah.
have it figured out, basically.
That's okay.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
not bad.
I don't know.
I know for like I work in an office now. It's not my jam.
No, my June.
Yeah, I'd rather be up moving around, doing something, being creative maybe.
That's
I
cool.
don't know.
Do you guys see yourselves with kids? So you'll be
The answer
32.
changes. The answer changes, and I know I had a mental breakdown at the start of the new decade about how I turned 30 this decade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is that such a bad thing, though?
I don't know.
It's just 30.
I don't know. It's just
30, baby.
Over the hill.
I don't know, because I just think of like, the 2010s of like, that was the end of our childhood essentially.
Bye.
Bye.
Done with it.
But and then like the start of our adulthood. And I'm like, oh,
Does that stress you out?
Yeah, because I'm like, okay, we had like so much fun being young, and now I feel 30's not old, but I'm like, that means like I'm officially an adult.
Elaine's like forever young.
Forever young.
So what freaks you out about it though? Like, why does that make you nervous?
I just feel like I have more. I need to be like more responsible.
Yeah, but I mean, looking at the big picture here, you're married. You're already in your own apartment. You already have a pretty steady job. I mean, steady.
Yeah.
Period. So that's pretty much adulthood. You've got it from like.
I know. I just
literally-
feel like I need to be more responsible.
For what?
I don't know. Like if we were to have a kid, I'd need to be more responsible. Like not going out to eat like at least once a week.
Yeah.
Getting coffee like every other day.
So you've thought about it.
Our answer changes. Our answer
I'm
changes.
saying that's the tea.
The big picture is like we want to be more financially.
Stable. I would like to have our own house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also I feel like there's a lot of stuff we want to do
Yeah.
before having kids too.
And how many times do you get asked about having kids? And how does that make you feel?
Fuck.
Maybe a couple times a week.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
least.
Oh my god. I thought you were going to say months.
From like family members to strangers.
Randos.
Or friends.
Yeah.
What is your response? The same that you just said? I don't know.
We mainly just say no.
For the most part, like sometimes we're like, yeah, maybe we'll have a kid one day, and then other times
Just to
we're
get
like,
people to shut up, basically?
No, we when we meet up with friends that have kids, their kids are so cute, but
baby fever.
I'm
Sets
just
in.
it's baby fever for like the hour that you're hanging out or 3 hours or whatever.
Yeah.
And then when we leave, we dwell on it. But then
Then like the next day we're like, nah,
yeah.
never mind.
Or like randomly, if I'm like on Amazon and like baby stuff comes up,
Cute
I'm like,
baby
oh my
clothes. You're
god,
like, I need a baby so I can put it in this. That's all I need.
Exactly.
I can't tell you how many times we're walking through like Target or Walmart, and it's like
Yes.
we'll be walking towards the baby clothes, and it's like, oh, let's steer the other way.
It's just so cute. They're just so tiny.
I had to buy, well, I didn't have to. I bought baby clothes yesterday for my friend's new baby. And I was in there and I was acting like it was my baby. I was like, oh, he would look great in this. Oh my God, he needs his hat. Like, they match together so cute. And I was like, matching little outfits.
So I went to a family Christmas party last year, and I didn't know this was another thing. I thought I just did it, but I have a box where wherever we traveled to, I bought like baby stuff because they sold them in the gift shops.
Yeah.
And some of it I was gonna give away, and some of it I have. But I'm like, okay, if I ever have a baby, I want to like keep this book from Utah or this book from Alaska or whatever. Yeah. And my cousin says she has a baby box for when her and her husband have baby fever. I'm like, fine, someone gets it.
By the way, they're in their 30s.
Oh, yeah, they just turned 30. They both just turned 30.
Huh. That's interesting.
But same thing happens. Like, I'll be at the store shopping for a baby shower. Yeah. And I'll be like, oh, so cute. And I'm like, I'll keep this one for me.
Right? I'm like, this is for I haven't actually done it to where I've bought one and be like, this is for my future kid. But I'm so close to being like, this is for my future kid. Like, I'm here for me buying a new purse, but like this baby clothes that I don't have a baby for is adorable. So I need it.
Just buy it to everything.
Yeah, right. But I kept so many of my old clothes, like from when my mom would like kept them from when I was a baby, and like I have an old beanie. I'm like, well, my future child needs to wear this, so it's iconic.
I don't think my mom I think my mom gave away a lot of it. Yeah, so I don't know what she has for me or for Cameron. Yeah, but I think she kept a couple of.
Sounds like you have a whole box for your future child. So
the box sounds like so big, but it's like 3 things right now.
But still,
because I'll go through and like another baby shower will come up, and I'll be like, okay,
gotta dig into the baby box.
Well, because it's like, in reality, when am I gonna have a kid? And like maybe these checkered shorts will no longer be in.
Oh, they're vintage now. 10 years. These are vintage. It's so funny.
So I literally have like 3 books and that's it. But I was really tempted this last Christmas. I went to Kohl's and they had these little baby slippers that said Baby Bear on them. And I almost got a matching pair that said Mama Bear so I could put my baby box for me.
Elaine's walking around her Mama Bear. Oh, you're a mom? Not yet. But that's like me vibes. That's not good.
The thing is, I was with my mom, and so it gave my mom hope, like, oh, maybe sometime soon. And I'm like, no, it's not. That's not the case.
Now every time your mom asks when we're gonna have babies, she always brings up the fact that you have that box.
Oh my God, that's because
I told her
she has a box.
I told her that day in the store because she was like, well, why are you buying them? You're not pregnant. And I'm like, okay, I get it.
She probably thought you were for a second. She's probably like, she isn't. She's not telling me.
No.
So I took you here for this reason.
Every time I say I have like exciting news, like I got a raise or like Dylan got a new job or whatever, she goes, "Are you pregnant?" And I'm like, "No, that right now that'd be bad news for me. That wouldn't be good news. That'd be pretty bad news right now. Like, that baby would not be financially stable."
Mentally stable?
I feel like you guys can. Oh my God, let's talk about that. Since you brought it up, I didn't know how to segue into it. So how's your guys' mental health? Period.
I mean, what time of year is it?
It's the winter.
Yep.
So what does that mean for you, Dylan?
Dylan gets seasonal depression.
Cue the montage. So sitting on the couch,
crying everywhere,
eating Cheeto dust all over me.
No, so when
crying.
Before
still going.
Before I moved to Alaska, I was like you, where I'm like, I don't get seasonal depression. I don't even know what it was until I went to go tour college up in Olympia, and they said their seasonal depression rate was through the roof.
It rains all the time.
And so they told everybody that was touring, get vitamin D. That will help a little bit. Not gonna help a whole lot, but it will help a little bit. And I didn't even know what it was until Dylan moved here and said, "Oh, I think I have seasonal depression because I don't know."
Let's actually back up for a sec. Okay, so I woke up one day and I was like really missing the sun.
Oh, that day.
This was
Take me back to the day.
Okay, so this was like January 7th? Okay, I
Oh
thought
my
the
god,
5th.
you remember the exact day.
And 2017.
Yep.
Okay.
We had lived here for like 3 or 4 months.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like
3
4
or 4,
months.
3 or 4 months.
And I mean, I've lived in Colorado, Florida, Alaska, and Utah my whole life up until moving here. Mm-hmm. So I was used to like really sunny places.
Yeah.
Florida is the sunshine state.
And also, you were working overnight at Walmart.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a job.
So I was used to like sunny places. I was working overnight. I felt like at the time not a lot going for me. Mm-hmm. And I woke up one day and I was like, I gotta go back to Florida. I'm booking a plane ticket right now.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And we literally had a heart-to-heart where we were both like bawling our eyes out.
Yeah, your mom comes into the room. She's like,
She's like, you need to pull it together.
yeah, pretty much. She was like,
if you want to leave, you can leave. But
just quit your job.
yeah,
Quit your shitty Walmart job.
yeah. And she's like, if you still want to leave, leave. But what would help would be if you just quit your job, quit working overnight.
Yeah. Get some sunlight.
Get some sunlight, and
Yeah, it sucks.
get outside. Like you'll be fine.
So yeah, I mean seasonal
It's
depression.
real.
It hits hard.
It is real, yeah.
And like
Does it still happen for you even if you change jobs and everything?
yeah, I mean like last year I went through it pretty hard. Like I was waking up every day like not ready to not be here. I guess.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is it just in the wintertime or is it?
It kind of like dwindles away a little bit throughout the rest of the year, but it's still there. And then,
Oh wow.
That's just the regular. Depression.
It's only sunny here for like 3 months.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And then the
was it all
rest of the
time?
year is like
Yeah, those 3 months
depressing.
are awesome.
And do you deal with it too then, Elaine?
Not really.
Not as much.
Not as, like to the severity of.
I feel like when we moved away to Utah and we came back in between jobs from Utah to Alaska, I really felt it because it was sunny every day in Utah.
Oh wow.
And we came here and it was raining
Or like
for
moving.
that whole week that we were here.
Yeah, or moving here from Alaska where like it's literally sunny, 24/7 during the summer.
Pretty much.
So how do you deal with it? Like what helps you?
I mean,
Exercise
exercise is a big thing.
a good diet,
A good diet,
vitamin D pills.
I'm doing like 1 out of the 3 right now.
And then you tried something that you said helped a little bit last year was they have those sunlight
The lamps.
The lamps. I was just gonna say that.
Yeah.
My therapist actually my psychiatrist was, because I was telling her I'm really depressed like right now, all this stuff, and she was like, they call it a happy light, which is just it's the mimics sunlight.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to get it for your desk, like if you work a lot, if you're inside a lot. And she said that it actually does help.
Yeah.
And she goes, even going outside, if it's raining or cloudy, there's still vitamin D because it's light outside. So
I feel like a lot of it is kind of mindset too. You know, you gotta like force yourself to get up and get out and go be active. And
for me, that's the worst part though.
yeah,
That's like the hard. No, literally, that's
it
the
really
hardest
is.
part to
Yeah.
get out of bed when you don't want to.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so yeah.
Yeah. I don't feel like I have seasonal depression. I feel like I just have depression.
Yeah.
I just have depression. Period.
It was funny though because it was like before I moved here, I was like, oh, I know like a lot of people deal with seasonal affective disorder up there, and it was like, I'll be fine, I'll be okay, and then I moved
That's
here.
what they all say.
Yeah, honestly.
No, seriously, like never gonna happen to me. Like no, that couldn't happen to me.
So I got here and I was like, whoa, this shit hits hard.
I'm depressed.
So, yeah.
So Elaine, let's talk about your depression. Mm-hmm. Yours is just all the time, or what? What's the deal with
I mean,
yours?
it's just depression. I mean, it's just like I have good days and I have bad days.
Love that.
I mean, does that make sense? I mean, I don't feel like I'm depressed every single day, but there are definitely days where I'm like, I feel really depressed right now, love.
The British accent is my coping mechanism. Period. What helps you though? Like what on the days where you wake up and you're like, I don't want a human today.
Getting out of the house.
Really?
Yeah. Just like going on a drive.
How often do you do that? A lot.
Not that often. Not that often. Not that often.
He's like, are you trying to tell me something? Because you're not leaving the house very often.
Nothing often.
Why?
I don't feel that depressed, and
Oh, okay.
I mean, like, that, I don't know, I don't want to leave my apartment.
Sounds good enough to me.
We made it really cozy.
Yeah, I had a goal to make our apartment as comfortable as possible. A bunch of pillows and a bunch of blankets and recliners.
So you basically
Have made my own
made your
yes.
made your environment to where you feel safe in it.
Yeah.
And you don't need to go outside.
As long as the door's locked.
Yeah.
Okay.
Vancouver, you know.
Oh yeah. You guys don't live in too bad of a part of town.
No.
I mean, no.
It is kinda.
It's,
I mean, yeah.
it's shady sometimes, but
It's shady.
it's not.
I mean, if we leave our apartment complex, right next door to us, there's a homeless camp.
I mean, just like being aware.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I think we're about ready to wrap it up. You guys have anything else you would like to add?
No.
Wow, on the spot here. No, not really.
No. Okay, well, I'm going to ask you guys to do one thing. And you guys can think about it, take your time. I want you to think of one piece of advice you'd like to give to the people listening. It can be about mental health. It can just be about new married life. It can be about anything you guys want it to be about. So take your time and think, and then let it go.
I don't really have any advice.
Just don't be a selfish dick.
Is that really your
That's my
advice?
That's your advice?
Yeah, honestly.
So, okay, I'll word it differently. What advice would you want to hear at some point, like that you wish somebody had told you? Maybe that's yours, Dylan.
Yeah.
But
I was gonna say it again.
okay, go ahead and say it again.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't really have.
Okay, what's the best piece of advice you've ever gotten?
Don't go to bed angry.
Yeah,
Okay, I love that.
that's true. That's
Yeah.
definitely true. I mean, I think I've can only remember like a few times where I've gone to bed angry,
Yeah.
you know, and it's like you just wake up and realize it wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth being angry over.
about.
I mean, like rolling over and looking at the person that you know you want to spend forever with, and like just knowing that this shit ain't worth it. You know, like just being angry isn't worth anything. Rather just move past it.
Yeah.
Love that. I'm gonna cry.
It's so emotional.
Oh my God.
I don't know. Okay,
Oh, we
like
got
take
more.
like take care of yourself. That's like a big one. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you're meant to take care of other people too, but also like can't take care of them if you can't take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Point blank period, folks. That's it.
It's like that whole oxygen mask thing on the airplanes. You know, it's like don't
Put your
put it
mask on before
yeah,
popping
exactly.
another. Yeah.
Oh, I like that. I've
Cool.
never even really noticed that.
And also, don't get couch locked.
Yeah. Don't just sit on your couch all day.
Oh, I was like, what?
That was like some advice I got last year, and it really helped me. Just like, hey, I'm couch locked right now. I'm gonna get up and go do something.
That is important because a lot of people don't think. I know I've spent a whole day in my room just doing nothing really, nothing productive at least, and
Yeah.
not even being like, oh, well, it's 8 o'clock at night and I didn't do anything.
Just
I guess I got to go to bed.
playing on your phone all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think also another piece of advice that we got last year was if you are feeling depressed and like you are couch locked but you don't want to go somewhere, just find something that needs to be done around the house, like doing dishes, and just do it.
Yeah.
So true.
Find a way to be productive.
Yeah.
Well, what he said was clean your junk drawer.
Yeah.
That's what my uncle said.
That's cool though.
Yeah.
Because then you still feel, because you did accomplish something that day. And you don't have to go outside for it.
Yeah. Even if
It's like
just
baby,
one thing. Yeah.
small accomplishments.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, thank you guys for talking with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love you guys.
This was fun.
Okay, bye, loves. See you
Bye.
later.
Cheerio.
Cheerio.